Cheers to you. Good morning. Yes, today we have another big, ginormous coffee mug, which I'll tell you about later in the show. Good morning. I'm Cindy Simmons, and this is Coffee Convo Wednesday for Wednesday, October 18th. In case you guys are keeping track, or for those of you keeping track, two more days till my birthday, and I like to celebrate all month long. So this is going to be the birthday month of love. We're in week 3 now. And I have something special for you, even though it's my birthday. I have something special for you at the end of Coffee Convo Wednesday. So if this is your first time joining us, I feel rude if I'm holding Chip's nose and drinking. I feel like I need to grip him like that. Okay, so I'm going to put him down for a second. This is Coffee Convo Wednesday. We come here every week, talk about a couple of things. I give you something free at the end because that's how I roll. And so sit back, grab your cup of coffee, and relax. So speaking of it being my birthday week, my husband, I gotta brag on him for a second. He owns a great company called My Smart Shirt. They put logos on stuff, so if you ever need something with a logo for your company or your charity, your school, or whatever, he puts logos on anything. Chapsticks, nail files, cups, hats, shirts, anyway. So I love my husband. That goes without saying, I'm sure, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I love him. So every day this week so far, we're on Wednesday, he is calling it the birthday week of love, which I am totally on board with. So birthday week, day 1, he left me a note with and I've been doing this on an Insta story all week, but he wrote me a note and gave me 2 tickets for my birthday on Friday for us to go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party at Magic Kingdom here in Orlando. And he did this because I'm not a parade person, but I love the Boo to You parade that is at this special event. And we went with our family. We were lucky enough to go last month, but we got rained out. So literally we were like there maybe an hour. And normally rain wouldn't scare us away, but we were all in full-on costumes, wigs, and we left our ponchos. So we were all really disappointed. So he is taking me on a date night there, just the 2 of us. And y'all, we haven't had a date night in like 3 months. At least. So I'm really excited. And it was like the gift that keeps on giving. He looks at me and says, babe, and we'll even dress up, whatever you want. And you have a week to figure it out. And I was like, because y'all, I love to dress up, like really love to dress up, not just for Halloween, like anytime I can get my entire family to dress up, I love it. So then yesterday was day 2. And he gives me this ginormous bag of chocolate covered gummy bears. If you have ever watched Coffee Convo Wednesday before, you know these are my favorite, and I will not put it in my mouth now because then I'd have to chew and talk, which I yell at my kids about. So, but this bag was like 2 times the size of yesterday. I have literally been eating chocolate covered gummy bears like they're going out of style. And then today I woke up and he got me a really cute Minnie Mouse iPhone cover because I needed a new iPhone cover and it's kind of obnoxious. And it was really sweet. So 3 days in and my husband is killing it my birthday week. All right, so let's get to Coffee Convo Wednesday. The first thing we're gonna talk about today, would you do this for love? And the reason I'm bringing this up is I was talking to a girlfriend of mine the other day and she was telling me how she goes to the symphony with her husband. Okay, that's her when she goes to the symphony. But she really loves her husband. She's been married for a long time. And she was telling me how it's really hard because he really loves to go to the symphony and she really loves him. And she was there the other day and she works really, really early in the morning. And so it was like that night. And she said, she just doesn't stay up late because she works really early in the morning. And she was sitting there next to him and she said she could feel herself starting to do that. And I was like, you really love your husband. So it got me thinking, sometimes we just do things for the people we love because we really love them. So I thought I would ask you guys to comment below and tell me what you do for your significant other, your spouse, that really is not your cup of tea, although this isn't tea because I don't do tea, but it is a teacup. And comment below and tell me, like, what do you do for your significant other, for your spouse, that is not your cup of tea, but you do it anyway because you really love them. For example, my husband loves horror movies, and I'm not a huge horror movie person. I don't mind them, but he's like a big horror movie person. So I agreed to go see It, that Stephen King movie with the scary clown with the red balloon. I think the red balloon, like, doesn't he hide in like the sewer drain or something? I don't know. I didn't read the book and I haven't seen the movie. And I keep stalling a little because it looks really scary. So I'm going to go see It because I really love my husband. So what do you guys do? Comment below and let me know. All right, next on the list, I have to share this story with you because I've shared it before, not on Coffee Convo, but I've told it to a couple of people, and it's really kind of embarrassing, but I think that maybe we would all do the same thing, and it has to do with The Walking Dead. And if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, then you're really going to appreciate this story. And take a big sip so I can get ready for it. Okay, so as some of you may know, we live in Orlando now. We just moved from Atlanta, Georgia, where we lived for about 14 years. And this neighborhood that we lived in called Serenbe, you can Google it. It's a beautiful sustainable living community. I loved living there. We lived there for about 3 years. Well, when I moved into the neighborhood, I heard that there was a guy from The Walking Dead who was our neighbor. But y'all, even though, so my background is radio. I hosted a radio show for 12 years in Atlanta. And part of what I talked about on the radio were celebrities, because we interviewed celebrities all of the time. Singers, actors, actresses, movie stars, tons of celebrities. But I had never seen an episode of The Walking Dead, and I had never heard of really any of the characters on The Walking Dead except the main guy, Rick, who, I was trying to think of his name, Andrew Lincoln, because he was on Love Actually, and I loved him on Love Actually. But everyone I know, like my friend Desiree is like a huge Walking Dead fan, but I never could like get into the show. I just never watched it, not once. So I find out that this guy, and I will tell you, his name's Norman Reedus. I found out he was my neighbor, but I didn't know who he was. Like if he came and knocked on my door, I wouldn't have known who he was. I just would have thought, oh, hello, nice man who I need to take a comb and comb your hair. He's cute though. But I didn't know who he was. So let me tell you this embarrassing story that happened. Back when I had my radio show, we were doing this fun little, I guess, radio bit you would call it, that we had this idea where, you know, the song Thriller by Michael Jackson, and then in the middle of the song Thriller, Vincent Price does that like rap kind of spoken word thing. Darkness falls across the land, midnight hours close. And yes, I know every single word because I love Michael Jackson and I love me some Thriller. So we have this idea of, let's take the Vincent Price part and find celebrities to record that line. So they would do the, you know, darkness falls across the land. So we started doing the whole week before Halloween. And that's why I'm talking about this story now, because Halloween's coming up and Walking Dead season, I think 8, returns this Sunday. So we get Brian Littrell from the Backstreet Boys to do it. He was awesome. We get Big and Rich, because I've told you that story, how I introduced them. If not, that's a whole nother show. But we had Big and Rich do it, Todd Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best, and someone else. But we needed one more. And I say to my coworkers, hey, there's a dude from The Walking Dead who lives in my neighborhood, and that would be great because Friday of that week, a couple years ago, it's Halloween. So that'd be perfect. Like Friday, Halloween, Walking Dead guy, recording. So I think this is like the world that I live in my head, that we're all normal and we're all accessible, and I have no grasp of how big the Walking Dead TV show is. Now, mind you, this is a couple years ago. And so I go, he lives like 2 doors, or lived at the time. He has since moved out. But so it's Norman Reedus. He lives a couple doors down. And I go walking down to his house. Except that he's got a ginormous metal door, so you can't really knock on his door. You have to knock on this like metal door, but who's gonna hear a metal door? Anyway, so I go up to knock on the door and he doesn't answer. So I trot back to my house and I think, oh, I will just send him a little note. And so I grab a bottle of wine that I have, and it's a nice bottle of wine. So I type him a little note, which again, probably maybe looked like a total, complete lunatic serial killer. I type a little note. I'm like, hey, Norman Reedus, neighbor guy, haven't met you yet, but I live, 2 doors down right here. Here's my family. Here's my address. I was wondering, could you record this little line? And I actually give him the, whatever it is, like 5 lines that Vincent Price does on Thriller. Hey, would you mind recording this for me? I'd be so grateful. I know it's awkward, like, okay, but thank you so much. Carpe diem is my attitude, seize the day. And, you know, if you don't ask, you don't receive. So I'm asking you. So I give him the line. I give him my cell phone number and an email. Because in my head, I'm just thinking, Norman's just going to shoot me a text. Because I don't know who he is. I don't realize how big he is. And I see him driving by all the time. He's like, hey. And I'm like, hey, Norman, guy from The Walking Dead. So next thing I know, so this is maybe 2 weeks before Halloween. A week goes by, crickets, like nothing. I've given cell phone, email, phone number, every way for him to contact me. And now I start to get like really insecure and embarrassed. Like, oh gosh, personal space. Maybe he was like, no, this is where I live. Why are you bothering me? So now I've created in my head that I have made like a grave mistake. So maybe like 2-3 days before Halloween, it's my youngest daughter's birthday. Her birthday is the 29th, so 29th it was. And I am going outside to get in the car with my entire family because we're taking her out to birthday dinner. And where does she want to go for her birthday dinner? Taco Bell. That's my kid. So my mom and the girls and Eric go out first, and I forgot something. So I go back in the house, and as I go outside to meet my family, I look, and I see my husband talking to the Walking Dead guy, the Norman Reedus guy. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is so embarrassing. Now, it's been a good week and a half at this point. So I'm stalling at the door, like trying to lock the door. And I'm like, no, maybe he'll just keep going and then I don't have to face him. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I want to die. So my husband's talking to Norman Reedus, and I am standing at the door taking what is the longest possible time to lock the door so we can leave. Finally, I'm like, okay, it's my fault. I shouldn't have done it. I got to go face the music. So I walk over and walk up to Norman Reedus in his Jeep that he had at the time. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey, Norman, nice to meet you. I'm like, okay. He is not looking at me like, rah, rah, rah. So I'm like, great to meet you, person I've never met, never watched your show, but yet I've asked you to do me a radio favor for my radio show. He goes, hey, I was just talking to your husband, and I'm so sorry I didn't do that thing. I didn't know if that was like legit. And then like it starts to dawn on me like, okay, he thought that maybe I was and I was making that up about the radio thing. He goes, I go, hey, oh gosh, I'm really sorry. Like I didn't mean to like intrude in your personal space. I just figured like I knew you lived there and we hadn't met yet, and I thought this would be a good way for us to meet and you could do me a little solid. And I bribed you with a bottle of wine. And he's like, it's really not a big deal. When do you need it by? I'm like, oh, like today? I said, today, because we actually want to play it on Friday the 31st for Halloween, because, you know, that little whole Walking Dead tie-in. This is me, like a complete dork. And he's like, not a problem. I will get, I'm like, really? Are you sure? Because I don't, like, again, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like, I thought the wine would help if you thought I was a total lunatic. He goes, no. He's like, sometimes you just don't know, and it's a neighbor, it's you. It's great to meet you. Not a problem. I'll totally do it. I am like, Norman Reedus for president? Yes, I'm going to start watching your show, man. Walking Dead. I bet it's probably good. Except he never did it. No, for real. He never did it. Never did it. Never talked to him again. Yeah, he never did it. Like, never heard from him. Yeah, never did it. So there's that. Isn't that the worst ending to that story? It's like, wah, wah, wah. I saw him a couple times after that, you know, drive by, hey, and I'm like, hey, you big celebrity guy who never did that thing you said you were going to do. So here's the thing, that was a couple years ago. I never watched the show. My husband and I finally binged watched The Walking Dead, I don't know, like 6 months ago. I'm totally into the show. He has since moved out, doesn't live there anymore. But I'm like, you know, kind of bummed about that. And we had scooters at the time, and he called us like the scooter family. I know this because my other neighbor, Sandy, who I love and I think might be watching. Hi, Miss Sandy. She told me that he said something about, oh, the scooter family, the scooter family who he never did that favor. And funny enough, like I said, I would see him all the time after that, and he was all, and I'm all, and he's all, oh, Yeah, he never did it though. Never did it. And then never said anything. But you know what? I don't have any regrets about that, because even though he wouldn't know me from Adam, like if I was standing in front of him right now, he'd be like, I don't even know who you are. Why are you even talking to me? But then after that, like I finally learned that show's pretty big. Like I thought and figured out that I might have been the last person, my husband and I were maybe the last people in the universe who have never seen The Walking Dead until now. So now I get that it's a big show, and now I get that he probably thought I was a lunatic, and that's okay, because it's proof positive, you guys, that you just have to take chances sometimes, and carpe diem, seize the day. And I'm glad I did. Did it produce the outcome that I wanted? No. But that's what my whole career has been about, taking chances and trying things and going for it, because as they say in, is it Us Weekly? Stars, they're just like us. And he is. And he was a nice little neighbor and didn't cause any trouble or drama or any of that. But yeah, so it really didn't work out. And there is my Walking Dead story for you. And don't forget, Walking Dead premieres this Sunday. Yes, I'll promote his show, even though he didn't, follow through. But that's okay. At least he was sweet about it. There you go. That's my Walking Dead story. Okay, and then one more thing on Coffee Convo Wednesday today. I don't know if you guys heard, if you have dogs especially and you love Disney, Disney just announced, it's been all over the news, that there are 4 hotels where they are letting you bring your little puppy dogs. How crazy is that? So 4 hotels, it's Art of Animation Resort, I wrote them down, Port Orleans Riverside Resort, and Fort Wilderness Resort. They're gonna charge $50 a night if you bring your doggy. And then Yacht Club Resort will be charged $75 a night. That's for additional cleaning, dog hosting rooms. So they have, it's a maximum of 2 dogs will be allowed per room, and they have designated dog-friendly hotel floors and sections. And then obviously your pups must be vaccinated, on a leash, and of course not like complete psychopaths, as we know some dogs have. I've had total nutso dogs before too. But when your dog gets there, they give you like a little doggy welcome kit with, I think it's like a dog tag and a welcome bowl. And then even a little thing, a little sign you hang on your hotel door that says, hey, there's a dog in here. Mousekeeping, in case you want to come in here and make the bed, just let you know there's a dog in here. So I think that's a good idea if you have a dog. If you don't have a dog, maybe you don't care. But for those of you who do have dogs and you are thinking about planning a trip to Disney for your first time, or you've been there a million times, what do you think? Will you take advantage of the dog bringing, dog welcoming policy? I would love to know your thoughts. Share your thoughts below. But I think it's fun. Go Disney. Go Disney. And speaking of, that brings me to the end of the show and my Disney gift card, because all this month, because I love milking my birthday for the entire month. Ask my family. My mom will tell you, oh, that's all she talks about is her birthday. That's right. Thank you, Mom, for having me. There's a little gift for you, Mama Jane. Thank you for giving birth to me, because I love to celebrate all month long. So every week on Coffee Convo, I've been giving you one thing that's something I love and something that just makes me happy, because this show is all about fun, happy thoughts. And so this week, I'm gonna hook you up with a $25 Disney card. But wait, there's more. Okay, so stay with me here. If you guys watched Coffee Convo Wednesday last week, you saw me talking about my favorite childhood candy, which is Red Vines. And some of you had heard of it, some of you had not. Well, Red Vines watched Coffee Convo Wednesday and sent me a boat ton of red vines. So I'm gonna share some of my red vines, not all of them, sorry. But I'm gonna share some of my red vines with you. So here's what we have going on this week. 2 things for you, 2 separate giveaways. First, let's focus on this one. Disney. And you can enter both giveaways. All you have to do is comment Disney and tell me where you are watching Coffee Convo Wednesday, which city. So if you want to be entered to win the Disney $25 gift card, comment Disney and the city where you're watching Coffee Convo Wednesday. If you would like the Red Vines, comment Red Vines and which city you're watching Coffee Convo Wednesday. I'm going to have 2 separate drawings here, 2 separate winners, but you can enter both. So Disney, which city, and Red Vines, which city, and then we'll pick a winner probably, I don't know, at some point Friday, which is my birthday, for those, again, of you keeping track. And that's Coffee Convo Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for me. Thanks for indulging me in my ginormous coffee mug. Funny story about this mug. So my husband saw it and he's like, oh, babe, you're going to have to return it. I don't know if you can see. It has a chip in it. I said, honey, it's Chip from Beauty and the Beast. He's supposed to have a chip because that's his name. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Well, see, he hasn't seen the new one. It's probably been a million years before since he saw the other one, but I love my husband. Honey, has a chip in it. Cracks me up. He cracks me up. Thanks to all of you for being here every single week. I really appreciate it. Spread kindness like Nutella. If you want to follow me on the socials, head over to cindysimmons.com and you can link up there. And then also too, you guys are always like, can I send you a big coffee mug the size of your head? Yes. Why, yes, you can. Go to cindy@cindysimmons.com. Shoot me an email. I'll give you an address. You send it to me. I send you a t-shirt. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out with me on Coffee Convo Wednesday. Have a great week. Like I said, spread kindness like Nutella. Love you guys. I will see you next week when it's Halloween week. What? All right, have a good one. Thanks. Bye.